Hello, and welcome to my brand new project. Trying to complete a living Pokédex in Pokémon Home before Pokémon Bank closes down forever and some Pokémon become unobtainable. A living Pokédex, or Living Dex for short, just means that instead of simply filling the Pokédex, I have to own one of every Pokémon. So just getting a Bulbasaur and evolving it into Venusaur isn't enough. I need to actively own a Bulbasaur, an Ivysaur, and a Venusaur at the same time. And the same applies to every evolutionary line in the franchise. Today, I'm starting my journey on Pokémon Crystal on the 3DS, and I'm starting things off by being a little bit cheeky and using a pretty simple duplication glitch to start the game with all 3 starter Pokémon. I did this by saving my game before choosing my starter, selecting Chikorita, advancing through the early game until I received Pokeballs from Professor Oak's aid, catching 2 more Pokemon, which will not count towards our total just yet, putting Chikorita and Pidgeot in my PC, changing PC boxes, and restarting the game at a very specific moment. I then repeated the process with Cyndaquil, before finally picking Totodile, leaving my rival, who I named Time, as time is running out for me to complete this project, with a lowly Chikorita. I took this rare opportunity to fight my rival's Chikorita with my own Chikorita in the first trainer battle of the game, then received more Pokeballs from Professor Oak's aid, and the challenge was well and truly underway. I caught 2 Centret and a Pidgey on my way to Cherry Grove City, where I boxed all my Pokemon except Cyndaquil, who was my first official team member for beating the Elite Four, which I'm required to do to catch a certain Pokemon, but more on that another day. En route to Violet City, I defeated 4 trainers, caught 2 more Pidgey, the second of which was the first Pokemon to break out of a ball on this project, and inadvertently knocked out 2 Caterpie. Once in Violet City, I boxed my Pidgeys and headed straight for Sprout Tower, demolishing every trainer in there and not encountering a single wild Pokemon the whole way up and down. Cyndaquil evolved into Quilava as I defeated the final trainer, and I received HM5 Flash at the summit of the tower. Up next was Faulkner, whom Quilava swept aside with ease, earning me the Feather Badge and the TM for Mudslap. Once Faulkner was defeated, Professor Oak called and asked me to carry an egg with me on my travels, so I collected the egg from his aid and headed out of Violet City onto Route 32. There I caught 2 Hoppip and a Bellsprout. I accidentally knocked out a Rattata, and I very deliberately wiped the floor with 7 trainers. I kindly declined this man's offer, received this man's old rod, took out 1 more trainer, and entered Union Cave, where I caught 2 Rattata, a Zubat, and a Geodude, and defeated 5 trainers, only accidentally knocking out 1 Zubat in the entire cave. On the other side, I defeated a lone hiker with 4 HP remaining. That'll teach me to tackle a whole dungeon without healing at all, right?
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong.
Before advancing to Azalea Town, where Kurt recruited me to take on Team Rocket in Slowpoke Well. 4 Rocket Grunts and 0 wild encounters later, the Slowpoke was saved, and I could get on with business. Steamrolling Bugs' entire gym with my over-leveled Fire Ferret Stoat looking boy. Once I had the Hive badge, I left Azalea Town to the west, bumping into Time again and dismantling him again. I then entered Ilex Forest and herded some guys far-fetched to earn HM1 Cut, which I promptly taught to Quilava to allow me to advance through the forest. In the second part of Ilex Forest, this guy kindly gave me the TM for Headbutt, which I also taught to Quilava in order to catch my second official team member. While I was stocking up on Pokeballs, my good friend Ralph called to inform me there was a swarm of Quillfish back on Route 32, and as I wasn't far away, I decided to go check it out. On my way back through Union Cave, I caught 2 Sandshrew and a particularly stubborn Zubat, but knocked out 2 Geodude, not realising I still needed to catch them both for my Living Dex. By the time I got back to Route 32, I only had 2 Pokeballs, 3 Great Balls, and a Low Ball, and as I was fishing with an Old Rod, Quillfish was on level 5, so I couldn't weaken it, so I promptly wasted my last 6 balls on it, then knocked it out. I returned to Azalea Town, restocked on Pokeballs, saved my game at 2 hours 15 minutes with 2 badges and 15 in my Pokedex, which was a fun coincidence, and headbutted trees until I found Heracross, which I caught and added to the team. That whole detour aside, I travelled through Ilex Forest catching 2 Caterpie, 2 Weedle, a Metapod, a Kakuna, and a Paras, accidentally knocking out a second Paras and defeating a single solitary trainer. On the other side of Ilex Forest, I collected an odd egg from the daycare man, which can hatch into any one of 7 baby Pokemon, but I was hoping for a Lekid or Pichu as I want a decent electric type on my team. There was no sense in just running around aimlessly until the egg hatched though, so I took down all 5 trainers on Route 34, accidentally knocked out a Snubbull with a critical hit, headed into Goldenrod City and made a beeline for the underground, where I defeated a super nerd whose Grimer poisoned Heracross, so I went back to the surface to heal and decided to go stock up on Pokeballs again. While I was exploring Goldenrod's department store, my first egg that was given to me all the way back in Violet City hatched into Togepi and was promptly boxed. I returned underground and used the remaining 3 trainers to level up Heracross, however he still needed more levels to be able to help me against Whitney, so I headed north, collected this guy's Spearow, which I may or may not deliver to his friend on Route 31, and defeated all 10 available trainers on Routes 35 and 36, not including the guard as I was playing during the day, raising Heracross to level 19. I also encountered a wild Growlithe, but it roared me away. I then tackled the Goldenrod City gym, wiping the floor with Whitney's 4 trainers before confronting the infamous cowgirl herself. In what should come as a surprise to absolutely no one, Whitney's Miltank was the first Pokemon to score a knockout on one of my team members in this entire run, and yep, you guessed it, she used Rollout. However, Quilava was still fully healthy and a little over-leveled, so quickly got revenge and earned me the Plain badge. This girl kindly bestowed upon me the ability to squirt, so I rushed to upset this tree, which turned out to be a Sudowoodo, which I caught in a Great Ball, the first Great Ball catch of the run. I defeated the 3 trainer? I won the 2 battles that clearing Sudowoodo opened up on Route 37, and then I met Bill in Ecruteak City's Pokemon Center, which made my next team member available to me. I realised I had completely skipped the national park, so on my way back to Goldenrod, I accidentally knocked out a Sunkern and a male Nidoran, and intentionally ran through 4 trainers. Back in Goldenrod, I burst into Bill's family home uninvited, and my reward for breaking and entering was a level 20 Eevee, who was added to my team. On my way back to Ecruteak, I caught a Sunkern, and then I began to train up Eevee, starting with the Kimono girls, who each use a different evolution. I've already decided how I'm going to evolve my Eevee, see if you can guess in the comments below, and while you're down there, don't forget to like and subscribe. Anyway, this man was so impressed I beat the Kimono girls, he gave me HM3, Surf. Next on the agenda was to visit the Burned Tower, meet Usain, accidentally KO a Coughing with a critical hit, catch my 3rd and final Zubat, mollywop time once again, fall through the floor, catch 2 Coughing, and awaken and release the legendary Cat Dog things.
Cat dog.
Armed with new ground-type moves on Eevee and Quilava, I took down Morty's gym with relative ease, receiving the Fog badge for my troubles, then saving on a fun, coincidental time for the 2nd time this game. I left Ecruteak to the west, taking down 5 regular trainers and 1 famous YouTuber on Route 38. After retiring Birdkeeper Toby, I took Eevee for a haircut at the Goldenrod Underground, which delighted him, and delighted my odd egg so much that it hatched on the way back through Ecruteak. I expressed earlier in the video that I was hoping for a Lekid or Pichu, and I got an Elekid, so I was very pleased with this. I had always intended for hatching this egg to be the end of part 1, so I'm glad I got to finish on a high. In the next episode, I'll be venturing into a different region on a different game, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. Also, please do like and comment. It really helps me out, and I really appreciate it. But for now, all I have left to say is thank you very much for watching. As always, I've been EBEZA, you've been amazing, and I will see you next time.